in charge of our national parks. They support us a lot in protection and conservation of our environment and the tourism sector. We thank the Executive Director, Uganda Wildlife Authority, for partnering with the Ministry of Defense and UPDF at this Tarehe, sita anniversary celebrations. Shortly, the parade will transit into quick march time, and the entertaining goods march will be coming therein. The parade has now transited into quick march time. The order is still the same: UPDF Land Forces, UPDF Air Forces, UPDF Special Forces Command, the Military Police, Uganda Police Force, Uganda Prison Service, and Uganda Wildlife Authority. Your Excellency and distinguished guests, once again, we request that we rise in honor of the national colors that are now at the saluting base. Your Excellency and guests, you may resume our seats. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Sema parade iliano iliko kusangasa parade ino yarangirwe ni Uganda People's Defense Forces yailako ni Mbale Uganda Police Force yetubasileko ni Uganda Prison Service yamaliriswayo ni Uganda Wildlife Authority. Kwasimile lukali.
Excellency and invited guests, that team spicing up the parade is the acrobats team from the Uganda People's Defense Forces Chieftaincy of Education, Sports and Culture. The Joint Brass Band, we thank you, mounted by Uganda People's Defense Forces, Uganda Police Forces, and Uganda Prison Service. We acknowledge and thank the Directors of Music, Brigadier General Justin Anywa for the UPDF, Superintendent of Police, Nepokoli of the Uganda Police Force, and Superintendent of Police, of Prisons rather, Tugume of the Uganda Prison Service. They have been with us all through this rehearsal up to this day. We thank you. The parade is now preparing to march in review order. And when they do that, Your Excellency and guests, we shall be requested to rise for the national anthem will be sung. Your Excellency and guests are now required to rise for the national anthem will be sung. Your Excellency and the invited guests, we may now resume our seats. Very many thanks once again, parade commander and the parade participants for that wonderful performance, and the directors of music of the band. May I request to give them another big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. It's been a very good show. Your Excellency and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, now we shall invite the Chief Political Commissar, the Uganda People's Defense Forces, Major General Henry Masiko, to come and give and present a report to His Excellency on the Defense Forces week activities here in Elgon region. But as he comes, let me invite Paddy, our co-MC, Welcome His Excellency in Lumasaba, please.
Wanyala nabi ya wase kandi kurambano kimilimo President we from Kanwa nabi President wa Uganda era mukanwa we bamasaba kuhakanira nabi mushirimba shihuru shembale era kusima nabi kubona ori kumuhoro kuno shalero wakureye Mbale nga shirimba shihuru bamasaba kupakira ko President mungono wanyala nabi wakukana warera kumuhono kuno Mbale kushabulira uri bamasaba bali basale bo nabi era kunarama basale wanyala nabi papa kwakwakani.
Your Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Force, Comrade Natasha Karujire Museveni, accompanying His Excellency the President, the Right Honorable Alhaji Moses Chigongo, Vice Chairperson of the National Resistance Movement, the Right Honorable Richard Todong, Secretary General of NRM, the Right Honorable Rukia Nakadama, Third Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, Honorable Bamulanga Ki Sempija, Honorable Ministers and Ministers of State present, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and colleague PSCs present, the Chief of Defense Forces of the Chief of Defense Forces of UPDF, the visiting Chiefs of Defense Forces from the fraternal forces, members of the High Command, service commanders, the Joint Chief of Staff of UPDF, representative of Inspector General of Police, the representative of Commissioner General of Uganda Prison Service, honorable members of Parliament, religious leaders and traditional leaders, defense advisors and military attaches present, the distinguished district leaders, generals present, senior officers of UPDF, militants of UPDF, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Once again, I am Major General Henry Masiko, the Chief Political Commissar of the UPDF, here to present the report on behalf of the Defense Forces Organizing Committee for this function. Your Excellency, this celebration is the climax of a busy Defense Forces activities which have been taking place in the greater Elgon region districts of Bududa, Buko, Bulambuli, Kapchorwa, Kwen, Mbale district, Manafa, Namisindwa, Sironko, and Mbale city. Your Excellency, similar activities have been going on in all parts of the country where the UPDF has its establishments. Your Excellency, the 6th February every year, commencing 1981, is symbolically designated as the Army's founding day, also known as Tarehe Sita. However, the theme of this year, retracing the people's struggle for peace and security for a modern Uganda, is an acknowledgement of the fact that their initial efforts, especially by Your Excellency, as the leader of the Uganda Revolution, together with other progressive forces in the country, that ought to be appreciated. Your Excellency, activities to mark 41st anniversary of Tarehe Sita commenced on the 27th January 2022 with the national launch at the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs Headquarters, Mbuya in Kampala, presided over by Her Excellency Honorable Jessica Rupo, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda. Notably, Your Excellency, at the launch was an inaugural lecture on the philosophy and historic works of Your Excellency, presented by two academicians from Makerere University, namely Dr. Sare Kayunga Simba and Professor Mulindwa Rutanga. On the 28th January 2022, Tarehe sita activities were launched at a regional level at Kapchorwa Boma Ground, which was presided over by the Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, who also participated in an extensive tree planting around the ultra-modern high-altitude athletics stadium complex at Tarehe. Activities were similarly launched in other districts on the 29th January 2022 and were presided over by a number of honorable ministers, accompanied by generals from UPDF, attended by enthusiastic district leaders in the Elgon region. Your Excellency, as is the routine, symbolic, CIMIC activities have been conducted mainly by the engineers brigade and medical services of the UPDF. This year, the engineers' construction works commenced on 27th December 2021, earlier than the normal Defense Forces Week, and in total, they put up 23 projects in most constituencies in this region. Most of these projects, Your Excellency, have been completed and were handed over yesterday, the 5th February 2022, at colorful ceremonies presided over by, again, honorable ministers accompanied by generals from the UPDF. Your Excellency, a detailed report on each project district by district is outlined in our program book, so I wouldn't want to take a lot of time. Suffice to mention just a few, which indeed excited the recipients. In Mbale City, the engineers constructed a 2-classroom block at Moni Primary School in a record period of 1 month. Your Excellency, at the handover, the leaders agreed with your proposal that indeed the UPDF has what it takes to deliver some of these essential infrastructure. In Bududa district, a similar structure was constructed at Bumayoka Primary School in Ruseshe constituency, a school with a total of 1,000 pupils, but with inadequate space. So the parents in that area, Your Excellency, are very excited. The other remarkable contribution of engineers was construction of a new neonatal ward next to the maternity ward at Kapchorwa Main Hospital. Neonatal ward is a ward where we take children who are born with some defects for attention. In the Sironko district, the residents are very excited about the rehabilitation of a footbridge that was made connecting East and West Budadiri constituencies. Lastly, Your Excellency, is some work which was done in Namisindwa district, which you fondly call your district. In this district, there was a project at Kabole Primary School, a school in memory of Auntie Zipporah Cherop, whom you know very well. So this school is in her memory. And apart from this classroom which was built at that primary school, a low-cost house was built for some of the relatives of Mama Zipporah, on top of completing and beautifying her grave. Your Excellency, the engineers also put up a monument at Wumbo Police Cell. This monument is capturing the history of that venue. The activities during the medical outreach covered the following aspects. Outpatients attended to by our medical doctors were 12,738. 2,393 wananchi received dental care services. 3,029 residents received eye care, and of these, 500 received reading glasses free of charge. Your Excellency, the communities received voluntary HIV/AIDS counseling and testing. Also, our doctors and medical personnel were able to deliver sound babies, and 78 of them during this week. Also, our medical doctors carried out some surgeries to about 232 patients who otherwise were missing these services. Your Excellency, as part of our civil-military cooperation activities, a number of donations were made to the population, reflector jackets to the youth who are in the transport sector, mosquito nets, masks, and over 100,000 tree seedlings for environmental protection. Scholastic materials were distributed to 20 selected primary and secondary schools around the region. A number of hospital mattresses were also donated, and also some water tanks to help those places who have water deficiencies. Your Excellency, other activities involved political and civic mobilization. We use this period to have interactive sessions with the local leaders in the region during the official launches and during the Defense Forces Week. The sessions enable us to foster harmony and understanding between ourselves and the civilians. The interactions enable UPDF commanders and political commissars to share experience with the population, especially the youth, women, district leaders, and a number of issues affecting their well-being are well discussed. Your Excellency, as is routine, the week is spiced by sports activities, and yesterday we had a very colorful mini marathon. And at this mini marathon, the chief political commissar dared the young people and became a very good last person. The netball and football matches were also very eventful, very cordial, and as usual, UPDF gave to the wananchi by allowing the wananchi to take the bulls and the trophies. Your Excellency, on behalf of the Defense Organizing Committee, I would like to extend our most sincere appreciation to you, Your Excellency, for finding time and allowing to officiate at this anniversary away from State House like for other occasions. We don't take this for granted, Your Excellency. We want to thank Her Excellency, Honorable Jessica Rupo, the Vice President, and the Right Honorable Robin Nabanja, the team of ministers who participated in both the launches and also the handover ceremonies of the CIMIC projects. We want, in a special way, to register our appreciation to the local leadership of all the districts. And at this juncture, Your Excellency, allow me to request to the resident district commissioners, the district political leaders, to stand up for recognition for the support they rendered to the forces during this whole process. Asante sana, mwanyala nabi. I want to salute the Defense Forces Organizing Committee under the able leadership of the Joint Chief of Staff, Major General Leopold Chanda, and all the members who tirelessly worked to see that this anniversary is a success. Your Excellency, on ground we had the commissars and CIMIC officers who were close with the district authorities and the wananchi throughout this week to ensure that the Tarehe sita activities are well understood. There are a number of senior officers seated in that direction. They can stand up and salute Your Excellency, but we salute them for the work wonderfully done. Your Excellency, finally, I want to thank the MDAs, corporate organizations who came out and have always come out to support the Ministry of Defense and UPDF in rendering some assistance to augment our CIMIC activities, notably Stanbic Bank Uganda, National Water and Sewage Corporation, Post Bank Uganda, Southern Range Nyanza Limited, Dr. Agarwal Healthcare, National Forest Authority, the Ministry of Health, Wazalendo Sacco, our own, NEC, National Enterprise Corporation, our own, and Movit Limited. All these gave us material and financial support as a way of expressing solidarity with their people's force. In a special way, Your Excellency, let me salute our very patriotic engineers, technicians, and medical personnel for a good job accomplished in support of the population. I want to salute all officers, militants in the entire UPDF for participating in this exercise and making it a success. It is gratifying that commemorating 41st anniversary of Tarehe sita in Elgon region achieved the objective of retracing the people's struggle for peace and security for a modern Uganda. A luta continua for God and my country. May I now use this chance to invite the Chief of Defense Forces to give his speech. I beg to be.
Thank you very much, the APDF Chief Political Commissar, for that report. And once again, we thank all those who have supported us in these Defense Forces Week activities in Elgon. We now welcome the Chief of Defense Forces to come and make his speech, and also introduce the visiting Chiefs of Defense Forces to His Excellency the President. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, accompanied by our sister, Natasha Karugire, Honorable First Vice Chairman of the National Resistance Movement, the Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, and in the interest of time, I want to ride on the protocol as laid down by the CPC so that we can save time. Your Excellency, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you. It's our greatest pleasure to congratulate you, our distinguished guests, the entire UPDF family and all Ugandans upon the commemoration of the 41st anniversary of the founding of the mighty UPDF. And this day we commonly call it Tarehe, sita, which we are celebrating here today in the city of Mbale. UPDF is therefore now 41 years old since its founding, and this is telling not just by the mere passing of time, but also in the milestones we have achieved as a country and as a force. Your Excellency, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this year's Tarehe Sita celebrations are being held in a less conspicuous manner, devoid of the use of befitting pomp and pageantry that accompanies our force's birthday. The numbers on the guest list, as you can see, are too low than as usual. And even the activities, including the parade that we usually enjoy on this day. This is not to suggest that we value less those not in attendance from all walks of life, as is the norm, but because we are UPDF and we mind our people's lives, health, and safety. The celebrations, as the CPC has already elaborated, mark a climax of the busy Defense Forces Week, which took place in the whole country, involving the Wananchi and wherever our forces were. The CPC ably listed the activities that UPDF got involved in during this Defense Forces Week, and for those that he didn't mention, they are very well listed in the program booklet, which I'm sure is before everybody. These activities are intended to acknowledge and honor the pioneer fighters, right from NASA compatriots through to those that joined later under Your Excellency's stewardship and backed by the popular support to produce from a humble beginning a now matured and strong, professional, effective, efficient, accountable, and reckonable force that is ideologically grounded and capable of guaranteeing Uganda's national defense, security, and stability, projecting a good image within and beyond our borders, and engaging in regional and international peace and security interventions. We are all honored to be associated with the mighty UPDF, living or foreign, whose invaluable sacrifice and bravery has led to peace, security, and stability, which are prerequisites for socio-economic transformation, prerequisites for achieving the National Development Plan 3 goals and the Vision 2040. To celebrate this day, UPDF has also since adopted and customized the tradition of commemorating the Defense Forces Week, which usually culminates into Tarehe sita on a regional rotational basis to recognize, thank, and give back as a token of appreciation to our strategic partners, the people of Uganda. This is a deliberate action that helps us reconnect with the masses and accounting to the population by carrying out symbolic civil-military cooperation activities as well elaborated by the CPC for their invaluable support and sacrifice that has led to the many achievements that the National Resistance Movement government has registered all over these years. Your Excellency, this year's Tarehe sita celebration theme is retracing the roots of the people's struggle for peace and security for a modern Uganda. This theme speaks volumes to our struggle in regard to socio-economic transformation of Uganda. The theme also blends well with the region because it is characterized with a unique contribution towards the first phase of the revolution, traced back in the 1971 when Your Excellency moved into the country to create bases here in the mountains, entering through Kenya, through Bungoma, and oscillating here to link up with the Honorable Magode Ikuya, the late Aboli Malibo, and the others. Another heroic incident in the region was at house number 49 in the Maluku Estate, which used to belong to late Maumbe Mukwana, when on the 22nd January 1973, the late Martin Mwesigwa, also known as Mwesigwa Black, and another one who was popularly known as Kazimoto, were arrested instantly and killed by Amin's soldiers, while Your Excellency bravely fought your way to safety. This nation is free because it is the home of a brave man in the name of retired General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. As one American quoted, Alma Davis, he was, I think, a war director. He said, "This nation will remain free as long as it is the home of the brave." And that's why, sir, through your efforts, UPDF applauds the people of Mount Elgon, who are our hosts today, and whose significant contribution is attached to our historical journey and strategic mission, which we must jealously regard to ensure those efforts do not go in vain. UPDF has, under Your Excellency's stewardship, mentorship, and sometimes training as the Commander-in-Chief, continued to build capacity and the proficiency to keep the country stable and contribute to regional peace and stability. The prospects for our country have never been brighter, and the opportunities abundant as of now. Be assured that UPDF will continue to guarantee that these opportunities are harnessed to their fullest potential for our country's common and envisioned economic growth and takeoff. as the Honorable Minister of Finance would say, whew. We therefore commit to abide by and fulfill our mandate as reflected in the UPDF vision and mission, as well as our core functions as spelled out in the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, where we can proudly say we have done very well in the first three, because we have kept Uganda peaceful, secure, and stable. We have effectively supported the civil authority in emergency situations, floods, landslides, the locusts, COVID-19, Medivac, and sometimes in public order management. But sometimes they talk about our involvement in public order management and ask, what are you doing on the streets? But they don't ask about these other ones I mentioned first. But anyway, for us, we continue. And we have also continuously kept our relationship with the population alive to keep our country peaceful. These activities that the CPC was mentioning are in line with this. That's why, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the effect of COVID-19 notwithstanding, we need to appreciate that as we celebrate this year's Tarehe Sita, the entire country is experiencing total peace and stability from corner to corner, even though there might be some threats of terrorism, some cross-border crime, as well as localized criminality in some parts of the country, for which we have devised countermeasures in order to contain them. We have also managed to support regional peace and stability efforts, especially in Somalia, South Sudan, the Central African Republic, in the spirit of Pan-Africanism. And now we are in the DRC to support our brothers, the FRDC, to flush out the terrorists that have occasionally been causing us trouble and killing and raping and abducting our brothers and sisters in the DRC. On the fourth function, Your Excellency, of being a productive force, we are making strides through NEC with all its subsidiaries and the chieftainess of production and welfare, which is now engaged in crop production, to raise the score in order to become a self-sustaining, which is critical in maintaining our forces while contributing to national development. We think that this will lift a burden on the consolidated fund of the government, from which we are currently drawing whatever we are using to support ourselves. We're also building capacity of the Engineers Brigade to match the implications of Your Excellency directives to engage in government projects. Your Excellency, at this juncture, allow me to also thank the Office of the Vice President, the Prime Minister, and other ministries, and specifically the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs Leadership, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs Organizing Committee, which was led by our Joint Chief of Staff, Major General Leopold Chanda, the UPDF rank and file, for their contribution and time in the planning, organization, and execution of the activities related to the Defense Forces Week and these celebrations. It's a good indication that the whole week's events have been successful to finally culminate into Tarehe Sita Day in the city of Mbale. As the CPC mentioned, most of these activities that we got involved in especially the engineer brigade civil works, have been handed over by the ministers, very many ministers who are seated here. They participated in those activities of handing over these projects, as opposed to in the past, when these projects will finish even 2 years before we hand them over. This time, we committed to make sure that we finish them within the Defense Forces Week, and by the time we celebrate Tarehe Sita today, we have handed them over, and we have succeeded in that. I also take the same honor to thank our partners in the corporate world, the CPC listed their names. I don't need to repeat them. I want to thank the media. I also want to thank the sister security agencies and other stakeholders for the continued support they have extended to the UPDF over the years. This is an acknowledgement of our tireless efforts to create an environment that promotes business, media freedom, and tolerance on our part, because sometimes they unnecessarily hit us. And then, of course, the investment. The best payment this corporate world and these other groups supporting us can give us to the officers and men in uniform who don't sleep so that others can sleep or feel secure is this kind of cooperation and support. The media fraternity covered and published the activities of the Army Week and mobilized the people of Uganda to participate in these activities in numbers acceptable to the current health regime. I don't want to forget the role of the business community of the city of Mbale in mobilizing for Tarehe Sita. At an opportune moment, Your Excellency may find time to meet them so that they can tell you their plans for the city, especially that they have an industrial park in their city. To our comrades from the sister armed forces in the region, thanks for gracing the occasion with your presence, and please convey our fraternal regards back home. I wish you happy celebrations and a happy stay. Your Excellency, allow me to introduce to you the delegations from our sister armed forces in the region. The first delegation is from the Democratic Republic of Congo, which was led by Lieutenant General Yev Philo Mon. I request that they step forward to a reasonable distance there. The other delegation, Your Excellency, is from the Federal Republic of Ethiopia, led by Field Marshal Bahol Joral Gela, that one. He's the CDF, and he is accompanied by Major General Kindu Genzu, Kano Dagai, those names are very difficult. The other one, sir, is from the United Republic of Tanzania, led by their Chief of Defense Forces, General Venance Salvatore Mabeyo, and his team. General Mabeyo, sir, is a member of the famous Intake 17 Long, where most of our generals were his cadet mates. Generals like General Katumba, General J.J. Odong, General Tumine, who unfortunately could not be here today because he lost his father-in-law. General Mugume is there, Joram Mugume and John Mugume, Major General Kashaka. All those are General Mabeyo's in cadet mates. The other is from the Republic of Burundi. General Prime Niyongabo. He's the Chief of Defense Forces of Burundi. The other delegation is led by General Santino Deng Wall, the Chief of Defense Forces of South Sudan. The other delegation is from where you started the journey of UPDF, Mozambique, led by Lieutenant General Capentino Bartolino, the Deputy Chief of Defense Forces of the Mozambican Defense Forces. The other delegation is from the Republic of Kenya, led by Major General Kiugu, the Assistant Chief of Defense Forces in charge of personnel and logistics. The other one is a single-man delegation led by Colonel James Burabyo from the Republic of Rwanda. And there is a letter from the commander of the United States Army AFRICOM, and he is saying, congratulations to you, the members of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, on your celebration of the 41st anniversary of Tarehe Sita. I want to thank you for UPDF's contributions to stability in East Africa. Your countrymen have sacrificed much in pursuit of peace in Somalia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Your support in the fight against Al-Shabaab and the allied democratic forces will help foster a safe and more prosperous region. I am proud to call Uganda a partner in East Africa, a region of strategic importance to the global community. I look forward to continuing our professional relationship and forming deeper ties with the UPDF. Best wishes on this special occasion. That is how that delegation was presented. Your Excellency, there is one other delegation from the Republic of Bulgaria. And one of them is my cousinmate, at the War College in the US in the year 2007. He is the Deputy Commander of the Air Force. I think we also have the Russian delegation. Led by Colonel Alexander. Once again, Your Excellency, allow me to express our delight at having you in our midst to celebrate this occasion with us. May God bless you abundantly. I thank you all for listening to me, and I encourage all of you to continue observing COVID-19 SOPs in order to remain safe, and I wish you happy celebrations and journey masses when you go back. Your Excellency, allow me at this juncture to invite the Honorable Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs to come and speak to the people gathered here today. Thank you very much, sir.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, allow me, on behalf of the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and on behalf of the political leaders who are here, Your Excellency, to thank you very much for having graced this occasion, and also welcome you to this ground, Your Excellency. May I ask the audience to join me to welcome His Excellency the President. I will use the opportunity, Your Excellency, in my protocol to also introduce some of the leaders that are here that have not been introduced by the previous speakers. Your Excellency, we have the National Vice Chairman, NRM, retired Brigadier General Moses Chigongo. Your Excellency, we have the former Vice President, His Excellency Chiwanuka Sekandi Edward. We have the third Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honorable Lukia Nakadama. And we have the Secretary General of the mighty NRM Party, Right Honorable Richard Todong. We have honorable ministers whom I would really request to stand up for recognition. Colleagues, I thank you very much for turning up for this occasion. Your Excellency, we have the members of Parliament who have been able to turn up. Honorable members of Parliament, please, may I request you to stand up for recognition. And at a later stage, I will invite the members of parliament from this region to come closer here so that the president sees your faces. Your Excellency, we have permanent secretaries led by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense, Mama Rosette Biengoma. Your Excellency, you have already seen the religious leaders. I can't make them stand again, but Your Eminence Archbishop, Your Grace Mufuti of Uganda, my Lord Bishops, you are all most welcome. Allow me to welcome Your Excellency and recognize the cultural leaders from the region. The cultural leaders, you are seated. Can you please, may you please raise maybe your hand for the president to know. Thank you very much. That is, and his team. Your Excellency, we have NRM leaders who have also participated in the UPDF week. The NRM leaders, can you please stand up for recognition? The president wants to see you. We have leaders from districts, chairpersons, RDCs, cows, and others. Please stand up so that the president can see you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, we have so many invited guests who allow me to stop there, Your Excellency, for the time being. But of course, let me recognize the members of the diplomatic corps and all visitors from outside Uganda, and many of them have been introduced by the CDF. Your Excellency, today we are recognizing the struggle for peace led by Your Excellency, the President, and also supported by so many people here in the Bugisu and the Sebei region. And of course, the theme of today has been ably explained by the previous speakers. We are retracing the roots of the people's struggle for peace and security as a foundation for the prosperity and the modern Uganda that everybody sees today. Your Excellency, before I make a few remarks, I wish to thank you for the socio-economic transformation of the country, and on behalf of the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs and our gallant force, the UPDF, I wish also to thank Your Excellency and extend our appreciation for the continued strategic guidance and mentoring which has resulted into the capacity that we have in the UPDF, but also in the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs to be able to adequately respond to all forms of security threats across the country. In addition, Your Excellency, the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs remains fully committed to implementing Your Excellency's strategic directives on the transformation and professionalization of our forces, which include, among others, the continued improvement in the welfare of the forces, including our gallant veterans. So we are emphasizing training and developing the capacity of our army engineers, as already mentioned, and as a component to facilitate the fast tracking of national infrastructure development goals. Your Excellency, with the prevailing peace and the tranquility, the growth of Uganda will be unstoppable. Already there are positive signs of socio-economic transformation across the country. The transformation taking place in the eastern region, the Elgon region, where we are today, is a good example of the milestone achievements that we must be all proud of. So during the last 1 week, Your Excellency, our gallant forces have been involved in a number of activities aimed at consolidating the strategic relationship with the people of this region. But also, as I mentioned, to really thank our elders who joined you in the struggle to bring peace and security. And with this peace, Your Excellency, we have been able to achieve all that everybody sees and which everybody sees as development that has been achieved in this country. So, Your Excellency, let me note that these activities have received. I want to inform you that the activities in the two, in Sebei and the Bugisu, that the EPDF has been able to carry out have received overwhelming support. And all these people here that have been supporting the whole, all the efforts, bear me witness. The people on the ground, the ministers who went to oversee the handover and even launching have come back with the reports, and they say that the people down there are in total support for NRM, but also Your Excellency's efforts to develop this country. And Your Excellency, I want to, as I conclude, I wish to note that we are proud of the UPDF for its performance and excellent execution of its constitutional mandate. And we really, as a ministry team, I want to assure Your Excellency that with your strategic guidance, this UPDF will reach all the levels that you wanted all along to achieve for it. So it is, allow me, before I invite Your Excellency to recognize, because we organize the Tarehe Sita week every year. So this time we invited some ministers, and of course from the Vice President and the Right Honorable Prime Minister to join us to launch, but also do the civic and political work on the ground in the region. And I want to thank Her Excellency the Vice President, who handled the national launch of the Tarehe Sita week and activities. Joining me to thank her, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to thank Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, who came down here to launch the regional, to handle the regional launch of the region. So please help me to thank the Right Honorable Prime Minister. Your Excellency, the others who are here include Honorable Oboth and Honorable Huda, who are my immediate ministers, whom I work with, and I requested them to stand up. The others include Honorable Mafabi Jidudu, Honorable Magode Ikuya, Honorable Agnes Nandutu, Honorable Cheptolis, Honorable Mbale Jitutu, those handled the launches and also did a lot of work all day, meeting the people and also explaining the struggle and the reasons and the principles, including the principles of our revolution. Your Excellency, when we reached yesterday at the end of the whole process, we had ministers, Honorable Huda, Honorable J.J. Odong, the Vice Chairman NRM, Alhaji Moses Chigongo, Right Honorable Secretary General, Dr. Tanga Odoi, Honorable both, and Honorable Wambirama Bright, Honorable General David Muhozi, Member of Parliament, the members of Parliament in the area joined us, and the generals, which I may not read all of them, of course. Honorable Musa Chweru, Honorable Kayindo Tafire, and Honorable Magode Ikuya. Allow me on behalf of the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and on behalf of the ministers that I work with, to thank all of you for joining us to do this very this noble work. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, with those few remarks, it is now my singular honor and privilege to invite you, Your Excellency, to address the nation. May you please join me to welcome the President with some akalulu ke bugiswe no manyala nabi
Uriana Makua Mwanyala kimirimo Mwanyala kukuba akalulu bulayi the Vice Chairman of the NRM, Arai Chigongo, the former Vice President, the Right Honorable Nakadama Lukia, Deputy Prime Minister, the Secretary General of the NRM, all the ministers and members of Parliament, na abamasaba mwese, the visiting delegations from the brother armies of Africa and other parts of the world, generals of the UPDF, commanders and militants. I use this occasion to congratulate the fighters of the UPDF NRA, National Resistance Army, present and past, on these historic achievements we have been able to achieve in these 41 years. Mukulukeyo entalo zonna, hongera kwa mapambano ya muda mrefu. Of course, the 41 years is just part of the story. For you, you are celebrating what you know. I'm glad Major General Matsuko mentioned it a little bit in his speech. He said there were efforts before February 6, 1981. And here, I really want to take this opportunity to thank 3 brother African countries which gave us a foundation. The first one is Tanzania, led by the late Mwalimu Nyerere, who supported us right from the beginning. When Idi Amin made his coup d'etat, because for you, you are celebrating 1981. That's why you say 41 years. But remember, we started 1971. When Idi Amin made the coup, and Mwalimu started supporting us. And I want to thank General Mbale for coming and convey our eternal gratitude to the people of Tanzania. And TPDF. Asante sana kwa mchango wa Tanzania kwa amani ya hapa Uganda. The other country which supported us, I'm glad General Mozambicana, muito obrigado. Mwalimu talked to the late President Samora Machel when Frelimo was still a liberation movement, even before they captured power. But they had a liberated zone. The people you are talking about who died here, one of them who died here in this town here, Martin Mwesiga, not Mwesiga Black, this was Martin Mwesiga, had been trained in the liberated zone of Mozambique in 1971, 72. Right from 1971, on the request of Mwalimu Nyerere, Samora kept training our people, but the most productive group, which actually created this army, were the group of 28 who were trained at Montepuez between 1976 and 1978. I don't know whether one of them would be here. Is General Ivan Coretta here? Nobody is here from that group. It is called the group of 28 plus 1. The plus 1 is myself. That group of 28 are actually the base of what became the NRA and the UPDF eventually. The other brother country which helped us politically was Zambia under Mzee Kaunda. Although we didn't train people there, but they were always accommodating our people, giving them jobs, and we had our branches there. People like Dr. Rugunda were based in Zambia. That was 1971 to 79. For you talk about the period of 81 up to now, but you need to have more data before that. Now, later on, 81 to 86, we also had support from our brothers in Kenya, Mzee Arap Moi. Washukuru wa Kenya. Asante sana. Mzee Arap Moi accommodated our people there, our families, and some support was given by Kenya in the period of 81-86. So therefore, this effort was not just by us alone. No, definitely our African brothers, the ones I have mentioned, Tanzania, Mozambique, Zambia, and later on Kenya, they contributed. Even Burundi under President Bagaza, they also made some contribution. So therefore, I congratulate you, the Ugandans, for your struggle. And you have seen how it has helped us. For today, I would just use a few of our proverbs. The first proverb is a Luganda one. Mbale baseka. We even had a vice president who was called Mbale baseka. The Luganda proverb says, abali baseka baje bandabe. Those who were laughing at us, who didn't know how serious Africa can be, they should come and see what we are able to do now. This corona was a very big problem, but we managed it. And I want to thank all of you for listening to for accepting my tough medicine of locking you up. Mwena njagala kubebaza kulw'okukkiriza eddagala lyange ery'okubagalirira emyaka 2 mbasibye. Mwebala okugumiikiriza. Mulaze ensi yonna nti Omu-Africa asobola. If you see the number of people who died in the world, I think the total number of the people who died in the world is now like 6 million people who died. Imagine, 6 million people in the last 2 years. In some of the countries, the people who died are really many. Here, up to now, we have lost 3,000 something people. That's not a small number, of course, but it's much, much less than would have been the case if you had not listened to our advice. By combining the SOPs, now recently we have added vaccination. All of you who have not been vaccinated, please be vaccinated 2 times. And then some 3 times. Mwena abatanagemebwa babageme. Emirundi 2 oba 3 kusinziira ekiti ekyolimu. We have been able to develop the therapeutics. There are some of these medicines which we are trying. Our people say they are working. We shall see. We have now told Professor Gwang to try his medicine in the hospital, not just talk about it in the village, but to do it in the hospital, and we see. We are able to produce diagnostics. So the way Africa, including Uganda, the way we have been able to handle the corona shows what Africa can do. Now, the other proverb is the Nyankore one. Somebody drowned in the lake thinking it was a pond. He saw water, he thought it was a pond, then he stepped there and he disappeared and was swallowed. The resistance of the Ugandans was like that. People did not know that it would turn out to be a very big force. You can imagine 28 people whom I trained in Mozambique, 1976, are the ones who created all this force. So that shows you what the people can do once they are correctly orientated, but also rightly link up with their people. Because if what we were doing was not supported by the people, it would never have succeeded. It succeeded because we did what the people wanted us to do. We were agents of change for the change which the people wanted. If we had wanted to do what the people did not want, we would never have succeeded. It would have been a big problem. So that proverb also, owagwira omu nyanja agezire ekyagaana. Omuntu eyagwa mu nyanja alowooza nti kitaba butaba. People didn't know the capacity of the resistance here. Yesterday, I was in Masindi, commissioning a new industry for producing industrial sugar. Because of the recovery of Uganda, we have been having so much surplus sugar, surplus milk, surplus maize, surplus, all those surplus, instead of shortages. Although we had surplus sugar, we were still importing industrial sugar. Sugar, this is the sugar which you use to put in soft drinks and also to put in medicine, different from the sugar we use for tea. So yesterday, I commissioned a factory in Masindi, which can supply industrial sugar for Uganda, but also for the rest of East Africa, if our brothers agree. And from there, I drove on good roads, and this morning I was able to come here and be on time because of the roads which we have worked on. I see even the Mbale town roads are much better than they used to be, except the one going to my place. I don't know whether they have worked on it. Now, all these developments, electricity, roads, we are now working on the railway, the old one and the new one. We're going to start a new one. All those are good. Aye, omusoga koba. Nti akange kakira kaife. Owulira omusoga bwakoba. Omusoga akoba nti akange kakira kaife. Our Basoga people say, mine is better than ours. Cha kwangu ni bora kuliko cha sisi wote, if you put it in Swahili. Now, this proverb applies here. All these tarmac roads, electricity, if we do not use them to generate income into your house, the tarmac road will be there, you remain poor in your house. Obudambi muinzu. So therefore, in the coming week, on the 26th, I've been told, we are going to launch what we call the parish development model. We have been begging you, please use the peace, use the infrastructure to create income in your house. And in order to generate income, there are a number of things you can do, which we have advised you to do. But up to now, some people are not bothered. I want to thank the army, our army people, Operation Wealth Creation. Are there some who are here? Are there some who are in the Operation Wealth Creation? Njoo hapa, njoo hapa. Njoo pale kwenye jukwaa. Huwa wengine wako wapi? Twenda pale mtupatie obujulizi, some witness, some I want to inform the visiting Africans that some of these Ugandans were determined to remain poor. Those are those are okay. Many of the Ugandans were determined they didn't want money. You can imagine the generals who are here, that by 1969, only 4% of the Ugandans were in the money economy. 96%, and you see how fertile Uganda is. But they were producing for only eating. Producing only what to eat. No production for money. Produced for the stomach, not for the pocket. That was 1969, only 4%. When we came in, we struggled with them. By 2014, only 32% of the people of the homesteads had joined the money economy. 68% were still only working for the stomach. That's how we involved the army. Some of those soldiers were part of the officers, were part of that. And, jitambulishe.
Brigadier General Felix Kulaije, I've been Director of Mindset Change at OWC.
You are in the headquarters?
Yes, sir.
I want the one who was in the field.
Brigadier General John Vyuma, OWC Coordinator, Nakaseke District.
So how many people did you get from working for the stomach only? How many homesteads? Do you have some examples?
At the moment, I don't have.
You don't remember? I transferred you from there, but
I can remember, I can recall, but Nakaseke district, abantu abakolera olubuto babadde bakyaliyo bangi naye oluvannyuma lwa operation rescue okubeera nga yatondebwawo abantu batandise okukolera enfuna mu maka gaabwe.
He's saying that where he was operating, that he was transferred away. He doesn't have the current, but he's saying that some of the families agreed to work for both the stomach and the pocket. Okay, it seems you don't have figures. Hamuna takwimu mwene mkae chini. But what I want to inform the generals is that because of the involvement of those soldiers who are taking coffee seedlings to people, fruit seedlings, cows, goats, pigs, chicken to the families, the figures have now changed. The homesteads in the money economy are now 61%, and the ones still working for the stomach only are now 39%, for the first time in history. But you hear, up to now, 39% are still working only for the stomach. And that is not the only problem. The other problem is land fragmentation through inheritance. If somebody has got 3 acres and he has got 6 children, he dies, the land is fragmented. Each one takes half an acre, half an acre. And with the time, agricultural land will disappear. It will all be turned into plots. So that's also another struggle we are having. So therefore, when they say there is poverty, like in the case of Uganda, poverty is just because of ignorance. With mindset change, we shall be able to banish poverty from here. And that's what we are going to launch on the 26th of February. We are going now to go to the parish, because these officers have been operating from a constituency level, a county level. We now want to go to the parish. And you will hear what we shall do. So in that effort of the parish, tetwagala kukongola. Tetwagala kukongola. Okukongola is a practice where when your colleagues are working for you, you stand and put your hands in the pocket. You don't help them. In Uganda here, we use the word of kongola. Tetwagala abakongola. Okubawo abakola, abakakalukana, ne wabawo abatuula obutuuzi. Olutalo olwo tugenda kuluggulawo ennaku z'omwezi 26 okulaba nti buli omu alina okwenyigira mu kugoba obwavu mu maka ge, si mu maka gange oba ga mukulembeze omulala, mu maka go. Owuliriza okuwabula engeri gyonna asobola okugobamu obwavu mu maka go. So okukongola tugenda okuggulawo olutalo. Olutalo si lwa mmundu, lwa bigambo. Kati niwabawo okuguumaaza, waliwo abaguumaaza abantu. Abanaddiini bano nabo sinafuna budde bulungi nabo, naye waliwo abagamba nti tusabe ekiro kyonna tetwebaka tugenda kugaggawala. Katonda yatulagira dda nti tukole, yakiwandiika mu kitabo ky'olubereberye, nze nkimanyi kubanga nali mulokole. N'attako Mbale naye temulowooza nti sibimanyi. Mu kitabo ky'olubereberye Katonda yatugamba nti, mbimanyi mu Luzungu, establish dominion over nature. Mufuge ebitonde byonna ebiri ku nsi. Obuyinza obwo Katonda yabuweereza omuntu gwe yatonda ku lw'omukaaga. In the book of Genesis, in the Christian religion, it says that God mandated man to establish dominion over nature because man was more intelligent than all the other creatures. So it's not, therefore, the idea of miracle wealth is something we don't want to encourage. Yes, the miracles are there. They happen once in a while. But what is for sure and clear is that by working, we can get results. And then we pray that God blesses our work. But to pray that God blesses your no work is something I will not accept. And I don't want to be involved in that. So that confusion of where does wealth come from? Obugagga bunavawa. Obugagga buva mukukora. Wealth comes from work. Ate ne wabawo olugero olulala olugamba nti ezimbera katama tezibera zindi kulya. Ekitegeeza nti ente bw'eba ezimbye ettama tegenda kulya kubanga ettama ligiruma. Naye ziri ennamu zo zigenda kulya omuddo. Kati gwe bw'onaagaana okukola abantu ne bakola, ogenda kusigala emabega. N'olwekyo ku luno tetwagala muzannyo wadde akawuka kano katutawaanya, but the time nga kati bwe katandise okukakana tugenda okutandikira ddala okukunga abantu tugobere ddala obwavu. In Eastern Uganda, I will get time, ngenda kufuna obudde nzije twogere ku kigambo ky'omuceeri ogw'omu ntobazi wamu n'okulunda ebyennyanja. Nze namala okukibala nti okulunda ebyennyanja kigenda kutuleetera amagoba gawagulu ddala okusinga okulima omuceere mu ntobazi ne mwonoona obutonde bw'ensi ate ne mujjamu katono twakibala dda. I'm talking about growing rice in the swamps. This practice was introduced by our Chinese friends in 1968, and our people just copied it. They grow rice, as you saw when we were coming. They grow rice in the swamps. The swamps dry up, and they don't get as much money from the swamp as they would if they cultivated, if they did, for instance, fish farming. Fish farming would allow the swamps to come back, grow the swamp grass, have water, use the water to irrigate the dry land, and use the grass of the swamp for mulching the gardens. Because when I was coming here, there is swamp, there is rice in the swamp. Where there is no swamp, there is no irrigation, there is no mulching. Omuluganda mulching bagiyita batya okwaliira. Omuluganda mulching bagiyita batya sempija. Okubika. Okubika, yes, okubika. Omuluma saaba tuloma tutya. Mujye mutusomesa oluma saaba wano. Okwalira anana atusomesa ku muzindaalo.
Khukhwalira bilyo
okwalira
bilimwa nga walira onyala walira kamatore, onyala walira kamapapari.
Kati mulaba obuzio obuli wano. Okusooka tewaliwo kufukirira amazzi.
Otsokhuyirira
kulwaki? Kubanga amazzi ekyagi ky'amazzi olutobazi mutaddemu omuceere. Ekyokubiri temubika banyankwere bakita okwalira. So it is just a bit, I'm going to come and I will discuss with everybody involved patiently. We shall not use force to get people out of the wetlands. It's not necessary. Ngenda okubalaga nti kyemukola mufiirwa ate mufiiriza ffenna kubanga kyonoona obutonde bw'ensi. It damages the environment. What the Mufti talked about, the land grabbers, abazimba ebizimbe mu road reserve, abo baleke bagenda kufiirwa kubanga katapira weziri katapira tetulina ebola lya katapira okumenya obuyumba obwo bwonna bagenda kufiirwa. Tetugenda kusasula omuntu yenna azimbye mu road reserve. Ate ekyapa ekiri mu road reserve tukisazamu busazamu. Tewali kunani nibogenda wa commissioner akirizibwa okusazamu ekyapa kyonna ekiri mu lutobazi oba ekiri mu road reserve oba ekiri mu forest reserve kubanga bakifuna mu nsobi mu bubi. So n'olwekyo abo mbasaasidde abatunda plots road reserve bagenda kufiirwa mbasaasidde. Ekisembayo kubanga luno lunaku lwa ssanyu, si lwa ssanyu, lwa kulwana. Essanyu lyajja luvannyuma, naye kubanga lunaku lukulu wabaddewo abantu bange abadde bakyakiisa ensingo, be bantu ba boda bagamba nti naye omusajja mukulu ono alitugulawo ddi. Kati njagala kulanga nti okutandika enkya ssaawa 12 z'akawungeezi aba boda mbasumulidde mugende mukole.
Papa Mungu onobale ba boda baonere bapirawo kakalankala papa kwasimire wanyala nabi.
Nkimanyi nti aba boda abamu babbi, abamu batemu, naye tugenda kukwatagana nabo mu ngeri ndala, si kubaggalawo. Ate tugenda kuleeta enkola. We are going to introduce digital monitors in all motorcycles and in all vehicles. At their cost, mulina okugula obuuma obwo obwakalimagezi bwe mugenda kuteeka mu pikipiki zammwe ne motoka zonna, motoka ya buli muntu yenna, oba akola ssente oba takola ssente. Emmotoka twagala kumalawo obutemu obukozesa motoka ne pikipiki. Want to end crime using motorcycles and vehicles by introducing digital monitors in every car, so that if I am here with my car, the central command knows that it is me in my car who is here. And also, if I try to remove it, the central command will see me trying to tamper with it. I checked this morning before I came. They are telling me that it will be deployed within the next 6 months, that system, for the whole country. The issue of using vehicles to commit crime or motorcycles and then run away and then remove plate numbers, change them, put them on other vehicles, that one is finished now. It will no longer happen. So therefore, the borders from tomorrow, starting at 1800 hours and beyond, they can work transnight like all the others. Mpulira nti kati muli kumpi kufiira mu mabaara, nti busula mu mabaara bwebangamba, kati aba boda nabo bagenda kubeegattako. So I thank everybody who came today. I want to apologize. On the way when I was coming here, people were trying to stop me. They want me to stop and talk to them, but we don't stop because we don't encourage public meetings yet. Yes, we are vaccinated, but we want this epidemic to get over before we encourage public meetings. You can see here we didn't allow people to come the public are there. You can see them. For them, they are not bothered. They are there. Abamasaba mutusonye temulowooza tubagalidde naye twagala obulwadde buno busooke bukakane. But otherwise, I thank everybody who is listening on the radios and on the TVs. And again, I congratulate the NRM and the army leaders for the month of the NRM activity, of the UPDF activities in the Mount Elgon region, in Sebei and Bugisu. Thank you for all those projects which were led by the CPC. I thank the commanders who oversaw them and the other leaders, Vice President, Prime Minister, and others who oversaw those projects. I hope the other people, the other public servants, copy the spirit of the UPDF, which is to do excellent work on time at the right price, not overcharging, not putting in this and that. Hongera, mkurikeyo, mkurike corona, mkurike olunaku olukulu olw'amagye, mkurike olunaku olukulu olwa NRM 26, ne Christmas eyayita nayo mugikurike mwenna. Katonda ababeere.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces. Banange tuongere tumukubire mu ngale z'amaanyi abana Masaba. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We may resume our seats, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Your Excellency, during the speech of the Chief of Defense Forces, we apologize we did not bring to his attention the presence of a delegation from the Czech Republic. We request, Excellency, that they stand for recognition. Thank you, and we apologize to our delegates. Your Excellency, sir, also, in the speech of the Honorable Minister of Defense, he had requested that, again, he recognizes in a specific way the ministers and honorable members of parliament from Elgon region who have supported us so much in this Tarehe sita. The ministers have requested that they stand again for special recognition by Your Excellency. The honorable ministers and members of parliament from Bugisu and Elgon. Tubakubireko mu ngalo banange. May I request that the Honorable Minister of Defense introduces them. Okay, sir. Honorable.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, on behalf of the people of Bugisu region, and also on behalf of my fellow leaders who are with me, we welcome you to Bugisu region. Your Excellency, also on behalf of the people of Bugisu, I wish to congratulate. Okay, sorry. Oh, sorry, Your Excellency. I have the whole Elgon team, both the Sebei and the Bugisu team, because this has been our week. And I was just saying, Your Excellency, you know, these leaders I will allow them to introduce themselves because their leaders want to hear their voice. But I was just appreciating and congratulating the UPDF and you yourself for this 41st anniversary of Tarehe Sita. Your Excellency, as Elgon, we have been fired by the mobilization that has been done by the UPDF. And for us as political supervisors and leaders who are behind me, my colleagues, we are ready, Your Excellency, to put on our shoes and put on the gumboots. We are already in the field, following your footsteps to see that we fight poverty aggressively. Your Excellency, to demonstrate this, when you look at the Uganda Bureau of Statistics recent release, Bugisu region or Elgon region, in 2017, poverty stood at 35%. But Your Excellency, as we speak, through our mobilization and on the radio, and we also have to appreciate the OWC for the inputs, we have reduced that now to 13.2%. And Your Excellency, we have been having meetings. That is our talk for Gisu. Our chairman, I think I will allow him to lead us. That is Wanda, Honorable Wanda. We meet regularly. And in 1992, Your Excellency, we were number 2. It was only Kampala. And we are determined that we want to regain our glory, to be number 2 again. And if possible, we may even overtake Kampala. So today we welcome you. We would have loved it. We know you don't have enough time. But at an appropriate time, Your Excellency, this is a humble request. This is the political team, but I've also shared with the religious team. And Your Excellency, we have to apologize that we have not yet settled in the cultural team, but I think through prayers and our Bakuka, once appeased, we are going to be able to settle the Vukuka. But we are requesting that you give us time, because we are a unique region with high potential, and we believe that we need your guidance on certain issues, especially the fight on the socio-economic transformation. I know under the PDM, we're under Group A. That is 4 acres and below. There may be a few of us with more than 4 acres. But Your Excellency, we also appreciate your guidance through your publications which you've given us on the enterprises that we should pick. But we need to request you that we discuss with you. And with those few words, if you allow us, I will allow the members to introduce themselves. Beginning with the chairperson. My name is Dr. Kitutu Merigoreti. I'm the woman member of Parliament of Manafa District and the Minister for Karamoja Affairs. I now call on my chairperson of the caucus, Honorable Wanda, to take on from me, introductions, and then
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Your Excellency, my name is Wanda Richard. I'm a member of Parliament for Bungoho Central in Mbale District, and also the chairperson of the Bugisu Parliamentary Group. We thank you for visiting our region. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I'm Gidudu Mafavi Dominic, the first MP for Older Persons Eastern, and I'm also Minister of State for Older Persons. You are most welcome, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, I'm called Agnes Nandutu. Woman Member of Parliament, Bududa District, and State Minister for Karamoja Affairs. Wanyala Nabi Papa.
Magode Ikuya is the name, but I'm both a bird and a bat with no particular constituency, but mine extends beyond that.
Congratulations, Your Excellency. I'm Engineer Irene Nafuna Mloni, Woman Member of Parliament, Ulambuli District, and you are former Minister of Energy and Mineral Development.
Thank you, Mr. President, sir. My name is David Wakikona Wandendea, MP Buchigai constituency in Bududa District, former Minister of State for Northern Region, and later on former Minister of State for Trade and Cooperatives. Thank you, sir.
You are most welcome, His Excellency. I'm Katenya Isaac, Member of Parliament for Ulambuli constituency. I want to thank you for fighting for me, especially on security in Karamoja. Thank you.
Thank you for the great opportunity, Your Excellency. My name is Gerard Nangoli, Member of Parliament representing the people of Elogonos in the Ulambuli District, and also Vice Chairperson of Bugisu Parliamentary Group. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, Wahusimile, my name is Sarah Kayagi Netalisire, Woman MP, Amisindwa District. Anyalo huita papa.
Your Excellency, I'm Wamala Nambozo Florence Mayoga, the District Woman MP for Sironko District. Your Excellency, just to inform you, I came with Mama Mary Wadada Msani, the late historical who worked with you. I thank you for coming.
You're welcome, Your Excellency. I'm called Modoya Isaac. I represent the people of Lutseshe constituency in Parliament, and I'm also the Secretary Mobilization for Parliamentary Group, Mbale.
Your Excellency, you're most welcome and congratulations. I'm Dr. Magoro John Faith, Member of Parliament for Bungoko North. Kwa gani Remsakul.
Your Excellency, allow me on behalf of the mighty people of Manafa, specifically Butilu County, to welcome you. My name is Wakoli Godfrey, and I do represent the people of Butilu County, Manafa District. You're most welcome.
Your Excellency, my name is Mbale Saif. I represent Northern Division, Mbale City. You're most welcome to Mbale.
Your Excellency, kwa kusimile baba, masino bananga na kayenze koni gali wango, Woman MP Mbale City, kwa kuinyaire nabi.
You are welcome to Mbale, Your Excellency. I'm Wandwas Robert, the MP for Bungoko County South. Also, a grandson to your friend, who I used to hide from the year 1972, called the Mama Luke Grace Wenua. And Your Excellency, at a later time, I will request that you allow me through protocol, pass on her letter to you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency.
Wahusimile Papa Mbale. I'm called Miriam Muhaye, the Woman Member of Parliament for Mbale District. And I'm proud to be part and a daughter of the family of Maumbe Muhwana, whom you're also remembering today. Thank you for coming to Mbale.
Your Excellency, Wahusimile Buchisu, and Morel Goni. My name is Musamali Paul Mwasa. I'm a member of East African Legislative Assembly from this region, and specifically from Busiu, where you also fought from. You are welcome.
Mtukufu Rais, mimi takuwa tofauti kidogo. Kwa majina ninaitwa Musila John, eneo la bunge la Bubulo East kule na Misindwa kwako kule Bumbo nyumbani kwako. Asante sana.
Your Excellency, we want to welcome you to the region of Elgon. I'm the woman member of Kapchorwa district. My name is Chemtai Phyllis Takwenyo.
You are most welcome, Your Excellency, to Sabay region, to Elgon region. I'm Chamonges William, Member of Parliament, Queen from Sabay region. I want to thank you for assuring Ugandans that wellness is only through hard work, not miracles, the way they think. And thank you for coming up with the parish model, which will be the only way to wellness for our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable ministers and members of parliament. And thank you, Excellency, for allowing us to have those people introduce themselves to you. But also I want to request Honorable Lydia Wanyoto Mutende to stand up for recognition of Excellency, and Dr. Patricia Acham, the Deputy IGG. They are here, Your Excellency. Now, next on our program, Your Excellency, the Ministry of Defense and UPDF are writing a book dubbed UPDF at 50, which will chronicle all the work, retracing that history up to where we shall be by the year 50 when we are counting. Your Excellency, I request at this point the Chief Political Commissar, once again, Major General Masiko, to give a brief about what the book is about, and we request, sir, that you launch it, accompanied by the Honorable Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, the Permanent Secretary, the Chief of Defense Forces, and the Joint Chief of Staff. General Masiko, sir.
Your Excellency, over the last 1 year, UPDF has been working with the independent publication of our friend Andrew Mwenda to develop a coffee table book that has contextualized the advice you have been giving us, that we shouldn't only talk about what we know, but to do research and contextualize the journey of the revolution. We are presenting a Dame book, which we shall request you to launch on this auspicious occasion. Your Excellency, allow me to give a small citation before you kindly come to launch this work. This Dame book is a representation of the journey of transformation of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, and we shall have the real hard copies on Heroes Day. This book is commissioned by the UPDF, entitled UPDF at 50. It tells the story of the different phases of the forces transformation and highlights the different anniversaries in one. Your Excellency, in its entirety, we mark 3 major milestone dates this year. 50 years, which is golden. This is the formation of our precursor, the Front for National Salvation. In 1971, today, we are talking of 50 years of the long journey. Then it's 41 years since the other phase of the 27, this time not the 28+1, the phase of the struggle that was marked with the attack on Kabamba on 6th February 1981. Your Excellency, it's also 25 years which is Silver Jubilee, since the Liberation Force constitutionally adopted the new name with the content still, the Uganda People's Defense Forces. In October 1995, that was a new phase in the name, though the content remained the same. So we are marking also 25 years. Your Excellency, this book shows how over these 50 years, the UPDF has undergone a transformation from a small guerrilla force into a large professional, national, and Pan-African force. Having fought a liberation war, the UPDF emerged as the first guerrilla army in post-colonial Africa to overthrow a sitting government. From then, it has consolidated peace in Uganda by defeating armed insurgencies across the country and across the borders, making Uganda free of civil conflict for the first time in the last 500 years. Beyond security, the book explores how the UPDF has extended itself from being a mere fighting to a productive force, consolidating its position in work through the NEC, National Enterprises Corporation, and also the work done through OWC. Today, UPDF produces means of fighting, assembles and repairs machinery, other guns and artillery, and also produces spare parts and equipment. As we have already said, its engineering unit does metal fabrication, housing, and other infrastructure projects. Furthermore, Your Excellency, the book also traces UPDF's war against poverty. Here we look at UPDF's central role in Operation Wealth Creation, where it is pushing limits in a bid to improve agricultural production and productivity in the fight against household poverty in order to liberate Ugandans to be prosperous. Over the same period, the UPDF has been exemplary in extending community service through the provision of social services like education, health to the population. This is especially so during such Armed Forces Week. Men and women engage in community work. They engage in engineering works. The book shows how UPDF has succeeded in living true to its DNA as a people's force. The book also delves into UPDF's Pan-Africanist character, tracing the People's Army's foundation from its birth, Tanzania, initial training in Mozambique, fighting liberation war alongside the Tanzania People's Defense Forces to remove Idi Amin, and later its participation and contribution to regional peace and stability efforts. Your Excellency, we conclude in this book not only celebrating the overwhelming achievements of the UPDF, the book details its history, practices, ideology, and offers a rare window for reflection upon the vision of UPDF. And particularly, the book offers a rare opportunity for UPDF to renew its assurance to Ugandans and global citizens about its commitment to safeguard our territorial boundaries and foster peace and stability within and beyond our borders. As the Master of Ceremony had indicated, Your Excellency, we beg that you launch this effort accompanied by Minister of Defense, the PS Defense, the CDF, and the JACOS, and the representatives of independent. You will wave from where you are. We know you are around, but we cannot break the SOPs. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for allowing to launch this book. Like we have been told by the CPC, come Heroes Day, 9th of June, wherever we shall be celebrating from, the book will be complete. Some of the guests will walk away with the copies, which you can read and put in your library. It has a lot of information, and want to thank our partners, the independent publications, led by Mr. Andrew Mwenda, the Chief Executive Officer, for the good work of partnering with the Ministry of Defense and UPDF to chronicle these works for 50 years. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now the work has been launched, independent. We can double our efforts now. At this juncture, I request to invite Your Excellency, the Master of Ceremonies for the Chancery, to come and present medalists for award of honors by Your Excellency the President. As that is happening, His Excellency the President is taking a photo opportunity with the visiting delegations from the Republic of Tanzania, United Republic of Tanzania, Republic of Kenya, the Republic of Rwanda, Republic of Mozambique, Republic of Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Republic of Russia, Democratic Republic of Congo, the Republic of Burundi. We thank you so much once again for coming. The Republic of South Sudan, the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, led by Field Marshal, who is the Chief of Defense Forces. That is the Deputy Chief of Defense Forces of the Mozambican Defense Forces. The delegation from the Republic of Russia, led by the DA, Colonel Alexander. Thank you. our friends from Bulgaria. That's the delegation from the Czech Republic. We thank you, and we thank you so much for joining us at this occasion. We thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that photo opportunity moment and for launching the UPDF at 50 book. At this point, therefore, Band, thank you. Band, thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, permit me, Your Excellency, to invite the Master of Ceremonies for the Chancery, who is also the Chief of Personnel Administration of the APDF, Major General George Igumba, to present our days for honors and also invite Your Excellency to award these honors. General Igumba, sir.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, His Excellency, the former Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the Honorable First Vice Chairman of the National Resistance Movement, Honorable Ministers and Ministers of State present, Right Honorable Third Prime Minister, Honorable Members of Parliament present, Service Chiefs, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am Major General George Igumba, Master of Ceremonies for the Chancery, as per law established to run you through the last part of today's celebrations to mark the 41st anniversary of the birth of our Métis Uganda People's Defense Forces. In accordance to Section 3, Part 2 of the National Honors and Awards Act of 2001, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda has conferred medals to 86 persons at these 41st Tarehe Sita anniversary celebrations. The medals are the 50th National Independence Medal, the Nalubale Medal, the Luwel Triangle Medal. The names of the 86 awardees were duly considered by the Presidential Awards Committee and are categorized as follows. 50th National Independence Medal, 70 persons, 47 of them UPDF, 17 UPF, and 6 UPS. Nalubale Medal, who are 9, and they are all civilians. And last but not least, Luwel Triangle Medal for 7 persons, all belonging to UPDF. Your Excellency, given that today's number of awardees is relatively larger than it were a couple of weeks ago, I seek your indulgence to permit me to skip the citations for each one of them and just go through their names. Thank you, Your Excellency. Award of the National Independence Medal. The National Independence Medal is awarded in recognition of outstanding service and loyalty to the country from 9th October 1962 to 9th October 2012. And on the list are RO06981, Colonel John S. Kasule. Next is Resistance Officer number 07239, Colonel Duncan K. Kashoma. Next is Resistance Officer number 07872, Colonel Martin S. Viegarazo. Next is Resistance Officer number 07919, Colonel Vincent Odori Omolo. The next is the Resistance Officer number 07924, Colonel Moses Buwaso. Next is the Resistance Officer number 07925, Colonel Joseph Eclair Okalebo. The next is the Resistance Officer number 07945, Colonel Emmanuel Ayuk Ewama. Next is the Resistance Officer number 08018, Colonel John Vincent Arije. Next is Resistance Officer number 08092, Colonel Amon Kajina William Muruwe. Next is Resistance Officer number 08096, Colonel Christopher Tumwine. Next is Resistance Officer number 08167, Colonel Paul Wanyera Namawa. Next is the Resistance Officer number 08203, Colonel Patrick Mbayo Mutome. Next is Resistance Officer number 08238, Colonel Armstrong Nduga. Next is Resistance Officer number 08276, Colonel Davis Ankunda Rwangoga. Next is Resistance Officer number 08328, Colonel Gilbert Owamajezi. Next is Resistance Officer number 08422, Colonel Franklin Namanya. Next is Resistance Officer number 08494, Colonel Godfrey Semakula. Next is Resistance Officer number 08527, Colonel Moses Ikiriza. Next is Resistance Officer number 08532, Colonel Mark Dans Musingasinga Kamjira. Next is Resistance Officer number 08593, Colonel Oscar K. Munanura. Next is Resistance Officer number 08767, Colonel Sam Vamsime Ntambire. Next is Resistance Officer number 09145, Colonel Frank Mukula. Next is Resistance Officer number 10273, Colonel Anatoly Makwante Nwajira. Next is Resistance Officer Veteran 00555, Colonel Fred Mulugwe. Next is Resistance Officer Veteran 06509, Colonel Cyril Mawa Muhindo. Next is Resistance Officer number 7766, Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Magira Wasivi. Next is Resistance Officer 08009, Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Alex Wabuyi. Next is Resistance Officer 08101, Lieutenant Colonel James Wandwasi. Next is Resistance Officer 08242, Lieutenant Colonel Moses David Hitler. Next is the resistance officer number 08245, Lieutenant Colonel Robinson Abeka. Next on the list is resistance officer number 08368, Lieutenant Colonel Wilberforce Chemuswa. Next is the resistance officer number 08413, Lieutenant Colonel Bernard Musamali Wambete. Next, Your Excellency, is resistance officer number 08903, Lieutenant Colonel David Kuranga Watasa. Next is resistance officer number 07871, Major Ramadan B. Jidudu. Next is resistance officer number 08680, Major Wilson Mafabi. Next is resistance officer number 09450, Major Joram Waraba Wamakale. Next is resistance officer number 11951, Major Christine Kiza Nakalembe. Next is resistance officer 12006, Major Maureen K. Nagadia. Next is resistance officer number 12016, Captain Christine Natumbwe Sayuni. Next is resistance army number 026925, warrant officer class 1, Cherop Jackson. Next is resistance army number 023137, warrant officer class 1, Mkoli Agre. Next is the resistance army number 052329, warrant officer class 1, Mabonga Peter. Next is the resistance army number 174159, warrant officer class 1, Reverend Tino Anna Grace. Next is resistance army number 115125, warrant officer class 2, Wekesa Anthony. Next is resistance army number 149266, Staff Sergeant Kutos Patrick. Next is resistance army number 162707, Sergeant Masava Anthony. And last in this category, Your Excellency, is resistance army number 142535, Sergeant Masava David. Now the police officers. Mr. Atwine Amon, Superintendent of Prisons. Mr. Ochom Joseph, Superintendent of Prisons. Mr. Kuboy Ben Moses, Superintendent of Prisons. Mr. Soyeko Fred, Assistant Superintendent of Prisons. Dr. Kajoba Charles Chimuli, a medical officer, and Dr. Jingo Richard, a medical officer. Those were the prisons officers, and now the Uganda police officers. Senior Commissioner of Police, Musana Joffre. Commissioner of Police, Kasirabo Elias. Commissioner of Police, Sewanyana Yusuf. Commissioner of Police, Engineer Apora James. Assistant Commissioner of Police, Ziwede Abubeka. Assistant Commissioner of Police, Ogalo David. Assistant Commissioner of Police, Kulaije Hillary. Assistant Commissioner of Police, retired, Onzima Nyakuni. Senior Superintendent of Police, Kusemererwa Catherine. Superintendent of Police Engineer Chasanku Raymond, Superintendent of Police Angomok Emily, Superintendent of Police Temaia Gertrude, Superintendent of Police Chelengati Sylvia, Civilian Mr. Oruk Patrick, Civilian Miss Amutuhaire Naume, Inspector of Police Alupo Florence, and number 34075, Kopolo Elungat Enoch. Your Excellency, the next category is for Nalubale Medal and is for civilians who number up to only 9. The Nalubale Medal is awarded to all civilian activists who have contributed towards the political development of Uganda, either through armed struggles or civil disobedience, and otherwise, right from colonial times to date. Your Excellency, the listed are all from Elgon region. First on the list is Zipporah Cherop. May her soul rest in peace. Next is Nelson Bichonju. May his soul rest in peace. Next is Bonifacio Meru Cheshet, also known as Fakio Meru. May his soul rest in peace. Next is Walubengo Richard. May his soul rest in peace. Next is Wamarwa James. May his soul rest in peace. Mrs. Lois Situma. Israel Mageme. May his soul rest in peace. And last but not least in this category, Your Excellency, is Joseph Wekesa. May his soul rest in peace. Your Excellency, the very last category is for the award of the Luero Triangle Medal, which medal is used as the climax of the armed struggles of the people of Uganda. It is awarded to any officer, man or woman, who joined armed struggles against dictatorship in Uganda. It is also awarded to civilians who operated closely with the armed freedom fighters during struggles against dictatorships. And on the list are Second Lieutenant Musa Bidu, Second Lieutenant Badiru Mulumba, Second Lieutenant Evaristo Dungu, Captain John Bosco Sechitoleko, Captain Fred Kakumba, Sergeant Ben Sentamu Bingu Kachanga, and lastly, Kasim Buyondo. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, that marks the end of my submission. I do thank you for your kind attention and patience, Your Excellency, for God and my country.
Thank you very much, the Master of the Chancery, Major General George Igumba, and Your Excellency, for awarding these honorable people who did a lot of work for the liberation of this country in those categories. May we congratulate all the awardees, and we thank the Presidential Awards Committee for identifying them. Your Excellency, permit me at this juncture invite only one entertainment group, Elgon Cultural Group, to make a performance in 3 minutes. Then we shall go back to the parade. Are they ready? Elgon Cultural Group, please come quickly. As they are coming, Your Excellency, allow me also recognize in our midst the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, is here. You're most welcome, Professor. During the introduction of the members of Parliament, Your Excellency, we skipped, but we request to recognize Honorable Rosemary Nyachikongoro and Honorable Milton Muma, Chairperson and Vice Chairperson, respectively, of the Defense and Internal Affairs Committee of Parliament. These ones are the ones who give us the money. Cultural Group, please.
The President of the Republic of Uganda. On the stage is Elgon Region Cultural Group going to present His Excellency. You are staying in Elgon region. This is from Namisindwa district. Stay tuned. Sasa naenda kupigia mtoto wangu chakula. Mtoto wangu sijui iko wapi. Mtoto wangu sijui alienda. Hodi hapa kwa sababu. Unanishutuka, unasema nini? Usisituke. Oh, wewe ni ndugu yangu Buchunju, mimi ni Zipora. Oh, ndugu yangu, karibu. Nilikuwa napigia mtoto yangu chakula. Niko mzima. Napigia mtoto yangu chakula. tembea hapo, lakini atarudi yeye chakula. Kama anakula ataende tena.
Na unajua nini Sipora?
Hapana. Niambie.
Huyo mtoto alikuja kwangu na akanielezea ako na siri.
Siri gani?
Yeye anataka kuwa rais wa Uganda.
Rais wa Uganda?
Yes. Yeye anataka kuwa
rais. Ni mzuri kabisa.
Ndio nimekuja hapa leo.
Tumepata.
Nimekuletea hii chakula umutengenezee. Nimebariki. Nataka yeye awe rais milele na milele.
Asante ndugu Bujunju. Asante.
Alinda Uganda mpaka akufe.
Asante sana.
Nimekubariki baba.
Amekuja.
Utakuwa rais wa Uganda.
Karibu mtoto yangu. Karibuni.
Asante.
Asante. Mimi nateleka chakula yako hii. Ukuleko.
Yes.
Uende na chakula hii. Hata Buchunja amebariki. Mimi nizipora nilikwambia. Kulako bamebariki hii chakula. Lakini wewe utakuwa rais wa Uganda milele na milele. Unajua?
Nakwambia.
Nilikuwa
ingenda kukwate bwanga.
Asante sana. Asante mtoto wangu, uende. Asante. Mtoto wangu ameenda sijui atakuja lini then nitendekeleze chakula akuja akuleko cha jioni. Mtoto yangu akuja akuleko chakula ya jioni. Na roho yangu. Yesu wewe mzuri kabisa. Unipatia. Mtoto yangu anakuja kukula chakula ya
mtu gani huyo? Mimi ni chifu hapa. Mimi naitwa Wandeka. Mtu gani?
Unataka msituni? Tafuta huko nyama. Tukule. Tunapata mtu anatembea sana.
Mtu gani huyo?
Anasoma makaseti.
Mtu gani huyo?
Mjui.
Askari, mko wapi? Nimesikia ati huko mtu msituni, pengine ni mchambazi. Hata chukua yeye mleta hapa haraka. Watu wanasumbua sisi hapa. Sijui huyo ni nani. Mleta hapa. Wewe ni nani? Songa huko. Wewe ni nani? Mimi ni chifu Wandeka wa area hii. Na wewe ni nani? Uongee.
Nze bambita Yoweri Museveni.
Yoweri Museveni kutoka wapi?
Makerere University.
Makerere University hapo umekuja kufanya nini?
Ni research.
Research unafanya hapa? Unafanya kwa msituni?
Nasoma.
Wewe unaonekana ni mchambazi. Askari chukua ndani.
Mimi si chambazi.
Chukua ndani. Yeye anasumbua sisi sana.
Hamuyirene omwana oyu wesomero. Twapeleka yeye kwa jela. Mwana oyu hatie somero.
Acha tupeleke kwa jela.
Mwana hatie somero. Hamuyirire omarwa. Mwana oyu nini mbaya? Mwana oyu bamwambire bara awesomero. Bari umusomi we isomero. We mtoto. Hamuyira chifu ulikuja hapa nini?
Nilikuja hasa.
Hasa unafanya kwa msituni?
Njagale bwanga. Kakati.
Unaona?
Bona bakaka wale.
Waachana na yeye. Huyu anaonekana ni mtoto mtoko. Wacha tumwache aende kwa shule, aende nyumbani asome. Kwenda pata hapa mara moja. Runaruka na ruamba papa Yoweri Museveni ni Wandeka. 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 Papa Wandeka abamtangale mubuli bwamini. Papa Wandeka abamtangale mubuli bwamini. Papa Museveni abaenje kifunisi mu Uganda muno. Papa Museveni abaenje kifunisi mu Uganda muno. Lunahulutwela bamuwamba kukwama musali. Lunahulutwela bamuwamba kukwama musali. Ondeka watima wamwakanira wamurebe we nani. Ondeka watima wamwakanira wamurebe we nani. Museveni wela mo mimi kwa machina naitwa Yoweri kakuta Dr. Museveni. Adeka waluma humwile busamwi busi ne huhamwila. Papa ndeka hwahusima huwonisa umukhulu wefe. Papa makeme hwahusima huwonisa umukhulu wefe. Papa wamarwa hwahusima huwonisa umukhulu wefe. Papa bichunju hwahusima husaya umukhulu wefe. Maispora hwahusima hutekhela Papa Museveni. Maispora hwahusima hutekhela Papa Museveni. Hwahusima hutekhela Papa Museveni. Hukulamba hebilila na misindwa. Papa Museveni hukulamba hebilila na misindwa. Papa Museveni hukulamba hebilila bebumbo. Papa Museveni hukulamba hebilila bebumbo. Ale hefe bakele masehuli ne bulomero. Museveni wakile fe bakele mahwatesa mu parliamendi. Museveni wakile fe bakele mahwatesa mu parliamendi. Chakala bakele ma chakala mwese ulwe huba huli ne bulomero. Chakala bakele ma chakala mwese ulwe huba huli ne bulomero. Chakala bakele ma chakala ma ilwe huba huli ne bulomero. Sangalo, 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 sangalo. Sangalo, 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 sangalo. Sangalo, 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 sangalo. Chipange, 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 janini. Vijana walio mama wanainama, wanainuka, wanasonga mbele. Mama wanasonga mbele.
As you are aware, this is Elgon zone, and we are having both Bugisu and Sebei. That was Bugisu. We are now, Your Excellency, receiving Sebei. Please keep time.
As abur mani. Sasa ndio nye kaja karaktani.
Attitude association to the table. M7 Abuda M7 huko tumetoka tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele huko tumetoka tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele tukiona mabarabara kweli zimejengwa na zingine zinaendelea kujengwa wacha tuiunge chama chetu cha NRM ili endelee kutuletea maendeleo huko tumetoka tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele uchumi wetu wa taifa letu wa Uganda iko inakuwa siku baada ya siku huko tumetoka tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele jeshi letu liko imara linatulinda ndipo tunasema UPDF songa mbele Konya alifukuzwa na kwenda kakimbia Kongo ikatulia Somalia ikanyamaza ya ukweli baba wetu wa Uganda jeshi la UPDF wamefanya kazi mzuri sana juzi eti wameleta manyanga na kutaka kunyang'anya wananchi wa Uganda amani lakini walipoona UPDF wakamenya mbio huko tumetoka tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele biashara inaendelea kwa vizuri na watu wanaendelea kutajirika wakulima pia wanafuna chakula kwa wingi wanaweza kununulia watoto wao manguo ndipo tunasema NRM songa mbele ili tuendelee kwa maisha yetu ya kila siku huko tumetoka tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele kwa kweli hospitali pamoja na mazahanati zimejengwa kwa nchi yetu mahali popote. Kwa kweli wakina mama waliowaja wazito wanapata matibabu kwa njia iliyo rahisi. Huko tumetoka tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele nchi yetu imejulikana ulimwenguni kwa sababu ya matendo mema ya NRM asante sana rais wetu Yoweri kwa uongozi wako iliyo njema huko tumetoka tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele sisi zote wacha tuingie ndani ya basi yetu iliyo rangi ya njano yote hasiwachiwe nje chameni NRM ni chama chetu tunaipenda tumeona kazi yako iposa tunasema NRM songa mbele kwa kweli ujana wetu waliomaliza masomo yao kwa kweli umewapa kazi ya kufanya mtoto yeyote
Thank you very much, Elgon Cultural Troupe. Very relevant performances. I request Your Excellency and distinguished guests to give them another very big round of applause. Thank you very much. Bugisu and Sebe in a joint performance there. This is Kapchoro Activist Association. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, before I invite the parade commander, requested Your Excellency to request you recognize Mrs. Mary Wadada Musani, wife of the late Wadada Musani of your code Elgon 13. I think it is those. What is the old woman? Please wave to the Excellency the President. She's here. Thank you very much. May I now? Oh, she's here. Just wave to His Excellency the President. Only that, Mama. She's on code Elgon 13. Asante sana. Wanyala Navi. Parade Commander, sir. Take it away from that. May I request we all rise and we shall sing the anthems in reverse order. Hold on, parade. His Excellency is taking a photo opportunity with Mrs. Mary Wadada Musani. I'm told Mrs. Elizabeth Maumbe Mkwana is also here. Mrs. Elizabeth Maumbe of the famous House 49, Maluk Housing Estate. If you read Song the Mustard Seed, you know the story. January 1973, at House 49, Maluk Housing Estate, where His Excellency now cheated death by a whisker. Unfortunately, his two other colleagues, Martin Mwesiga and Wunkumpima Kazimoto, were not able to make it. May their souls rest in peace. And Mrs. Elizabeth Maumbe Mkwana witnessed that debacle. Thank you very much, Mama, for coming. Over to you, sir, Parade Commander. Our distinguished guest, the parade commander, has requested for permission to match the colors of the parade square. You may resume your seats for now. The national colors being handed over back to the military police for safe custody, and then the parade commander will hand back to the second in command to march the parade off the square in a moment. The second in command of the parade, Lieutenant Colonel Betty Musuya, is now coming to take over command and march the parade off the square.
Second ni kamandi umwana wengo Betty Musuya khwakhwakani era khuli khuwulira bulayi nabi bamasaba ni basamwabona.
Thank you very much, Colonel Armstrong Nduga. Armstrong Nduga commanded the parade on the 26th of January at Kololo. This same parade is the same that has worked here for Tarehe. We thank you very much and we congratulate you for that very good job. Right from Kololo up to here, we thank you very much for all that good work. Ndiye mwana wengo Betty Musuya. Your Excellency, the President and distinguished guests, now the parade is going to make a display. Thank you very much, band, for that display.
That's what helps participate in our hustles.
Director music, sir. General Nywa.
Mwache. That last song is from Mozambique. That last tune is from Mozambique. Kumaruvuma mpaka Maputo.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for retracing these roots. Your Excellency, the President, the Republic of Uganda, distinguished invited guests, that marks the end of this ceremony here, the 41st Tarehe Sita anniversary at Maluku Stadium. We thank you so much, Your Excellency, for gracing this occasion with your presence. We have been Lieutenant Colonel Ronald Kakurungu, Deputy Defense Spokesperson. Co-MCs, please introduce yourselves to the Excellency.
Hau Hassan Pade, I am the co-MC, also the District Inspector of Schools from Mbale. Thank you.
Senior Superintendent of Police, Navaka Senoga Claire, Deputy Spokesperson, Uganda Police Force.
Commissioner of Prisons, Frank Baine, Prison Spokesperson. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We thank you once again. We wish you a safe journey to your next destination. Distinguished guests, thank you so much for coming. We shall now allow His Excellency to depart, and we shall also depart in reverse order. We thank you so much, and we congratulate the people of Elgon region. Thank you very much for joining us as we commemorate the 41st anniversary of Tarehe Sita celebrations. We thank you all, the leaders.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Our protocol teams, you have
first anniversary of here, as you've just seen, at the Maluku Bomber Grounds here in Mbale City. Mbale City gets an honor to host another event from the time they acquired city status. Remember, in 2020, they hosted the International Women's Day celebrations, and now here we are again hosting the Tarehe Sita celebrations in the same area. But for this particular event of Tarehe Sita, we'll just let you know that it was in 1996 when at the cricket grounds in Mbale here that we again had Tarehe Sita here, and I remember the late General Samuel Waswa Kasiri Gwanga, who was the Lieutenant Colonel at that time. I think he was the one that was commanding the parade. And of course, this is where we are today. Now, this area has got its own history in the struggle that dates back to the 70s. And just as you had the President speak to us here, I said many of us, when we talk about the NRA and UPDF, we start in 1981, of course, on this particular day, when we saw the first bullet going off at the attack, or on the attack of Kabamba. But the struggle did not just start in 1981, as the majority of us here think. I just want to have a small interaction here with some of the journalists in the area. This man is called Sheikh Masalu Sudi, and he's one of the journalists in the area. Ndugu Sudi, I'm happy to see you. You are a journalist in the area. I just want to know your feelings and what you have to say about what you've just seen here happen in your area.
Thank you, sir. I'm Imam Saudi Muhammad Masara. I work with the BCUFM, that is the Bugisu Cooperative Union here in Mbale.
In the anthems.